What's up, guys? Thanks for stopping by for the Midlife Grind. In this video, I'm going to give you what I wish I knew before starting BJJ at 40 years old. Let's get to it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Midlife Grind. On this channel, you get to come along with me on my journey as I reclaim, rebuild, and rise above the midlife grind. So be sure to subscribe, comment, like. Let's get to it. All right, in this video, I'm going to talk about what I wish I knew before starting BJJ at 40 years old. I'm going to give you my top 5 things that I wish I knew before starting BJJ at 40 years old. All right, starting it off with number 1, and by the way, this is in no particular order, but first of all, you got to know when to tap. It might seem like a feat of strength or some badge of honor or, like something you got to prove to yourself. But guys, you're over 40, tap early. Don't be afraid to tap. In fact, tapping is really a tool that you can use as a way to learn something. It's not a contest. It's not a competition. It's not an official IBJJF match or anything like that. Give your body the break it needs, and don't let your body be broken. So tap early. It's okay. Nobody's gonna make fun of you. Nobody's gonna think less of you. That's the whole point. You take it to that point and you tap. You say, I can't do anymore, and you learn from that. What did I do? How did I get myself in that position? How did I allow myself? Where did I go wrong? What was the fail point up until that point? And if you look at it like that, if you think about it from that perspective as a learning tool, it's going to help you so much as you grow, as you keep coming back to class, as you roll with different people. It's going to help you figure out your limit, figure out where you're going, how you're moving. Just don't be afraid to tap. It's an ego thing. A lot of guys think they can push it and stretch it out and get it. I can hold on, but don't do that. You're going to break an arm, you're going to break a limb, something's going to happen, you're going to get choked out, you're going to pass out. Just avoid all that. And if I've seen guys, and myself, I've tapped and there's not even a submission happening. It's just the sheer weight of a person on you, and they're driving all of their weight into you. It sucks. It really sucks. It hurts. The wind gets knocked out of you, and just drop your ego and just tap and say, I can't go on anymore. I got to take a minute, collect myself, and move on. Coming in at number 2, again, no particular order, make sure you get yourself a good gi. Now, if you're rolling no gi, if you're doing like 10th Planet type of stuff and you're just rolling no gi, it's not a big deal. Get yourself a good rash guard and some good shorts, some good, fitness shorts, or some spats or, something. But you need to get a good gi. I use Elite brand. When I first got into this 7 months ago, when I first started rolling, I was significantly heavier than I am right now. I purchased a gi in one size, thinking, going based on the little size chart they give you. It didn't fit. It was way too tight. I'm only about 5'7"-ish, 5'7.5", and at the time I weighed like 275. So I was a short, fat guy. I had to buy a size up, and Elite brand gis, they have larger sizes. It's bigger, it's a larger gi, so the goal is to obviously keep working out and keep showing up, and eventually you're going to lose weight. Little humble brag, actually the other day was able to buy another gi, another Elite brand gi, and I bought a size down, and it fits perfect. So it felt really good to be able to do that after 6-7 months of training, to be able to finally fit into a smaller size gi that's really more my size and not be swimming in it anymore. There's lots of brands out there. I was on a budget, and I still am. I don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on a gi. You don't have to. There's plenty of brands out there. Flow, Venom is a good brand, but I like Elite. They're thick material. Your first instinct might be to buy a thin gi because you're going to be sweating and it's going to be hot, but you actually want a thicker one, because If it's thinner material, it's going to tear easier. You don't want that. You want a thicker material. They're heavy. They don't look heavy when you look at them on someone, but they're actually heavier than they appear. You know that going into it. It's going to be a heavier, especially the jacket. The jacket's very heavy. So I would go with Elite if you're a bigger guy. A lot of guys over 40 are carrying a little extra weight around. No judgment. It just is what it is. All right, coming in at number 3, don't skip warm-ups. Plenty of videos out there for BJJ warm-up exercises you can search, but don't skip warm-ups. It might seem silly. Some of the stuff that they do might seem just awkward, and how am I going to get through this? This isn't even necessary. I want to get to the cool stuff. But more often than not, what you're going to find is, at least in my class, I know every class is different, every school is different, but in my particular class, it seems to be that whatever we do for warm-up that day comes up in whatever we're learning. So it might just be a jog around the mat, and then we do some weird shrimp exercises and some weird, shoulder rolls or whatever. Most of that stuff comes up in the lesson. So we get down, we circle up, and the instructor shows us what we're going to do, and he kind of breaks it down. All of a sudden you're going, hey, we did something like that in warm-ups, or I can use that the move we did in warm-ups in this. It's very helpful. So don't skip warm-ups. Don't think I can come in 5 minutes late because the first couple minutes are warm-ups. Don't do that. There's plenty of videos out there that you can search for, BJJ warm-up exercises. I might do one in the future just to cover it, but don't skip warm-ups, guys. Make sure you're there. Make sure you're there early, and be involved in that, because it's really important, especially stretching and getting, because you use a lot of muscles in jiu-jitsu that you don't normally use, and you use them in ways that you don't normally use them. So it's really good to build strength and build endurance and build flexibility, like holistically, all the way around. Don't just think I can come in here and use my strength and my size as an advantage. It doesn't work that way. So you're going to be really, really disappointed if you think that way. Moving on to number 4, we're going to talk about recovery. So recovery is really important at any age. I covered this in my previous video. It's really important at any age, but recovery, especially for guys over 40, if you're starting BJJ at 40 years old, it is huge. Like, recovery it's everything. If you don't properly recover from what you're doing, you're going to hate it every second of it. My first few classes, I remember, like, immediately after, I just wanted to pass out. I just wanted to go home and soak, and I just was so sore and so out of shape. And especially early on, if you're out of shape, if you're overweight, if you're just, if you haven't been real active in a long time, this is going to be a real rude awakening for your body. Like, for your physical body, for your mental health, it's going to be a big wake-up call. Hopefully will ignite and inspire you to do great things, but at first it's going to suck. And so you really want to get good at recovery. So again, it's simple. Drink enough water, eat enough protein, get enough sleep. I mean, those things right there, that's just the trifecta. If you're drinking enough water, a gallon plus a day, if you're eating enough protein, body weight in grams per day, basically, and you're sleeping, like, you're getting adequate sleep, like deep sleep every night, you're on the right track. Like, there's other things that you can do to supplement recovery. Sure, there's other things that you can do to aid and optimize recovery. Absolutely. But those 3 things right there are just key. Like, make sure that you're drinking enough water, eating enough protein, and you're getting enough sleep. All right, finally, number 5, what I wish I knew before I started BJJ at 40 years old: injury prevention. You want to start slow to avoid injury. And it's kind of, this kind of goes along with the last 1 or 2 things I said, but, our instinct as men, as we get older, is to push through things and to push through pain and to just suck it up and get it over with. And I'm not a wuss and all that stuff. Look, the only person that's saying that is you. That's the only person saying that. Nobody else thinks that. What people are actually going to think if you do that is that you're irresponsible and you're not very good at taking care of your body. You're not impressing anybody. You actually look silly and foolish for just sucking it up and pushing through. Don't hurt yourself. Don't do something unnecessary. Don't put yourself in a position that's going to get yourself injured and then take you out for the next 3-6 months because you did something silly, you got hurt, you hurt your neck, you hurt your leg, you did something really bad, you didn't tap in time, and now your arms, snapped or whatever, you hyperextended your elbow, or you tore your shoulder out or something. Like, nobody's gonna think, oh, that guy's really cool because he got seriously injured and now he's out for 6 months healing. Nobody's gonna think that. The only person that's gonna think that for a split second is you, and then you're gonna realize, oh my God, I should have tapped. Go slow. Like, pick your training partners well. Don't pick the easy targets, but pick your training partners well. I like training with people who are advanced. And you might think, well, that's crazy. Why would you want to roll with a purple belt? Well, I want to roll with a purple belt because that guy, his cardio is insane. He's been doing this a long time, so his cardio is insane. He's not going to get winded. Also, he's not a beginner. He's not going to do something irresponsible. He knows that I'm a beginner. He can regulate. He can dial it back a little bit and still give me enough of a challenge that I'm going to learn something, but not just give it to me. So be careful. Be responsible. Make sure you tap. Make sure you tap early, and just prevent injury by starting slow. Don't go full force, and don't look up what black belts are doing and go try to emulate that in class. Like, it's just not going to work. So to recap, guys, know when to tap. Get yourself a good gi. Don't skip warm-ups. Take recovery seriously, and prevent injury by starting slow. You don't want to go full force, Hulk smash right off the bat. You got to get your cardio up. You got to get your body acclimated to this new insane thing that you're doing, that your body's going, what are you doing? This is not normal. Go home, go to sleep, eat some ice cream. You don't want to do that. Guys, if you're over 40 and you're starting BJJ at 40, 41 years old, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment, subscribe to this channel. I want to hear from you. What tips, what advice would you give somebody who's just starting BJJ at 40 years old? What advice would you give somebody who's just starting jiu-jitsu? I would love to hear from you. Subscribe to this channel. Join me on the journey. Let's do this together. Keep grinding. Peace out.